Have you ever been on a bus so late at night that it no longer feels connected to the real world? Not the normal kind of late. I mean the kind where the streets are empty, the traffic lights change for nobody, and every building outside the window looks abandoned. The kind of night where even your own reflection in the glass starts to feel unfamiliar. If you've ever experienced that, then you know exactly why this story still keeps me awake. And before we begin, comment below. Would you stay on a bus if you realized the driver and the last passenger were acting strangely? Because I should have gotten off earlier. I really should have. It happened during the winter about 2 years ago. I was working late shifts at a small convenience store on the edge of town. The pay was terrible, the hours were worse, and the only way home after midnight was the Route 66 night bus. Every single night, same routine. Lock the store. Walk 3 blocks through freezing air. Wait under the flickering bus stop light. Then ride 30 minutes home through empty streets. Most nights were quiet. A few tired workers. A drunk guy asleep near the back. Sometimes students with headphones on. Nothing unusual. But that night felt wrong from the beginning. I remember checking the time on my phone. 1:13 a.m. The streets were completely silent. No cars. No voices. Even the wind felt muted somehow. The bus stop light above me flickered slowly. Buzz, 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 like it was struggling to stay alive. That's when I noticed something strange. Usually I could hear the bus before seeing it. The engine, the brakes, the vibration. But that night, the bus arrived silently. It simply appeared from the darkness. The headlights cut through the fog first. Then the bus rolled forward slowly, almost gliding across the road. No engine sound. No screeching brakes. Nothing. The doors folded open. The driver didn't look at me. "Late tonight," he muttered. His voice sounded dry, like he hadn't spoken in years. I climbed aboard anyway. That was mistake number 1. The inside of the bus was nearly empty. Only 3 passengers. An old woman near the front asleep against the window. A man in a gray hoodie sitting in the middle row. And someone sitting all the way in the back. I couldn't see their face. Just a silhouette. Perfectly still. I paid my fare and sat near the center aisle. The doors closed, and the bus started moving again. At first everything seemed normal. Streetlights passed by outside. The bus gently swayed with each turn. I put my headphones on and tried not to think about how exhausted I was. Then my phone vibrated. A notification. No sender. No number. Just a message. "Don't fall asleep." I frowned immediately. I looked around the bus. Nobody reacted. The old woman still sleeping. The man in the hoodie staring out the window. The figure in the back motionless. I typed back instinctively. "Who is this?" No response. A few seconds later another message appeared. "He only takes people who are sleeping." My chest tightened. I looked toward the driver. His eyes met mine through the overhead mirror for just a second. And he smiled. Not friendly. Not normal. Too wide. I quickly looked away. Suddenly the bus felt colder. Not physically. Wrong colder. Like the temperature inside a nightmare. I stood up immediately. "Next stop," I said loudly. The driver didn't answer. The bus kept moving. Outside, something felt off. The streets didn't look familiar anymore. The bus should have turned near the gas station by now. But instead we were driving through roads I had never seen before. Long, empty streets. No signs. No houses. Only fog and darkness. "Excuse me," I said louder. Still no answer. Then the old woman near the front suddenly spoke without opening her eyes. "He doesn't stop after 1:30. Every hair on my arms stood up. "What?" She slowly pointed toward the front windshield. I looked outside, and my stomach dropped. There was no city anymore. No buildings. No traffic lights. Only an endless black road stretching forward beneath a pale gray sky. Like the bus wasn't driving through town anymore. Like it had left reality behind. "What the hell is this?" I whispered. The man in the gray hoodie finally looked at me. His face looked exhausted. Terrified. "You stayed too long," he said quietly. The driver chuckled softly. The sound echoed strangely through the bus. You always realize too late. I rushed toward the emergency exit window. It wouldn't open. I pulled harder. Nothing. The locks had no handles anymore. Just smooth metal. Panic crawled into my chest. What do you want from us? The driver's eyes met mine in the mirror again. You already gave permission when you boarded. The lights inside the bus flickered violently. For one brief second, I saw the driver clearly, and it wasn't human. His face looked stretched, too thin, the smile impossibly wide, his eyes completely black. Then the lights stabilized again. The old woman started crying quietly. The man in the hoodie covered his face. And from the very back of the bus, the last passenger finally stood up. Slowly, too slowly, like something pretending to move like a person. Tall, unnaturally tall. His head nearly touched the ceiling. I still couldn't see its face clearly. Only long, pale fingers gripping the seats as it walked forward. One row at a time. The bus suddenly became silent except for its footsteps. Tap, tap, tap. Nobody moved. Nobody breathed. Then it spoke. And my blood froze instantly. Daniel. My name. It knew my name. I had never seen it before in my life. The voice sounded wrong. Like multiple voices speaking together underneath one sentence. How do you know my name? I whispered. The thing tilted its head slightly, then smiled. I couldn't fully see the smile, but I could feel it. We know all the names. The driver laughed softly again. Names make the crossing easier. The creature kept walking closer. Tap, tap, tap. Every movement looked unnatural. Its arms slightly too long. His joints bending at strange angles. And then I realized something horrifying. It wasn't blinking. Not once. My breathing became uneven. What are you? The thing stopped beside my seat. Slowly, very slowly, it leaned closer. And finally I saw its face. Or at least the shape pretending to be one. The skin looked smooth like wet paper. Its eyes completely empty. Its mouth stretched too wide across its cheeks. And beneath that fake smile, there were more teeth than any human should have. You were not supposed to wake up yet, it whispered. The old woman suddenly screamed. The bus lights exploded into darkness. For 1 second everything vanished. Then red emergency lights flickered on. The creature was gone. The driver was gone. But the bus was still moving. Fast. Much faster than before. The man in the hoodie grabbed my arm hard. We have to jump. What? Now. The road outside blurred beneath us. The bus shook violently. Somewhere behind us, something was crawling across the ceiling. Fast. Too fast. I looked up and saw pale fingers gripping the overhead rails upside down, moving toward us. The hoodie man kicked the emergency door repeatedly. Crack, crack, crack. The creature above us whispered my name again. Closer this time. Daniel. The glass shattered. Cold air exploded into the bus. The man jumped first into the darkness outside. I hesitated. Big mistake. A hand touched my shoulder. Long fingers. Ice cold. I turned slowly. The thing was inches from my face now, smiling wider than before. And inside its empty eyes, I saw reflections. Hundreds of people sitting silently on buses, all staring forward, all trapped, waiting. The creature opened its mouth, far too wide, and whispered, "You missed your stop a long time ago." I jumped. The last thing I heard before hitting the ground was laughter echoing from inside the bus. Then darkness. I woke up hours later in a ditch beside the highway. Alone. No bus. No crash. No injuries except bruises on my arms. Police said there was no Route 66 bus operating that night. They said that route had been shut down years ago after multiple disappearances. But sometimes, around 1:13 a.m., I still get messages from unknown numbers. Only 3 words. Next stop soon.